Welcome back to another episode of Finding Love. We've talked about co-parenting, we've talked about marriage, and we've dibbled and dabbled a little bit on the dating scene. But there was a story time that I'm gonna have to bring up in a minute that just kind of led us to this. Transactional dating, does it lead to a transactional relationship? I don't know.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, guys. So we had a real contentious moment discussing this next video that we're gonna watch with you. Let's watch the video, come back and let's talk about it.
You gonna have to pay for this babysitter.
What's up? You looking good.
What's up?
What's going on? You get in?
I need $250 for the babysitter.
You need $250 for the babysitter?
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm saying, like,
You wanna go on
take
this date, right? You wanna go on a date? Wanna take me on a date? I need $250 for the babysitter.
why don't you get in the car? Like, come on, you.
I can't just leave my kids
We've been talking about this all week,
without paying
though.
the babysitter.
We've been talking about this all week, though.
Okay.
So
So we're just gonna get right into it, okay?
it's a lot of components, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of components, but the transaction is what we really want to dive into because we know so many relationships like that. I mean, we've been in particular times where we're dating and somebody needs this or somebody wants that or somebody asks for that. And this really hit home on a couple different issues.
Yes.
Number one, it sounded like he had planned out the date.
Man.
I mean, it's half the battle in this dating scene right now. Like getting someone who is intentional about taking you out and planning it out, setting it up, coming to pick you up, like let's go, right? So I thought that was something that I got out of that video and I thought that was a good thing. Then she comes out and I think it's her attitude.
Yeah.
I think it's the way she asks and all of that. But she says, yo, run me the money for the babysitter. And I'm torn. As a woman who's never been a single mother, right? So I can't imagine trying to say, I'm gonna leave my kids to be with you, who I really don't even know like that, to date you and pretend that maybe we have a future. Wait, what? I don't know. But this single mom is saying she needs some money for the babysitter.
And I think you put it nicely. Okay? It's the audacity for me. Okay? This is a polarizing topic.
It is.
But I also had to take one of the notes out of your book. You know, you like to read the comments.
Oh.
And this is social media.
Yeah.
Because I 100% have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
But watching those comments, everybody has an opinion. And it's far left and it's far right.
Yes.
But for me, okay, now let me be very clear and disclaim, I'm not an expert in the matter.
Yeah.
But I do have an opinion. And having the audacity and the expectation to just operate on that high level, I think social media has also magnified and intensified the transactional relationship, which to me, I think can be extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
And so much so, I'm gonna let you fill everybody in to why we even began to watch this and bring it to everybody in our Finding Love community.
Yeah. So this is like still an issue, right now going on in our friend group. And one of our friends posted this in our group chat and they were like, yo, what's up?
Yep.
What does everybody think about it? Which is something that we normally do. It's a very regular occurrence in our group chat. And it came up, and of course, the men and the women were polarizing in their views on what was going on in this video. It was so much so that it turned into a heated battle. And some words were exchanged and some things were said that really, lacked empathy but also just made it so clear to us that this is something that is going on in the world.
Man.
Like, this
Man.
is the disconnect in this dating scene. Everybody got a kid at our age almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
so it's like to talk about, you know, what it looks like to date someone with a child, it can be polarizing in itself. Now, I came in, you know, with
Yeah.
Cam and immediately assumed the liaison position, right? He could talk to me about anything. I could take it back to his dad. You know, his dad could tell me if he was having a rough point or something that he had needed to communicate, and I take it back to him.
Yeah.
And that was my role in that moment. I didn't have to like assume the picking him up from school or paying for babysitters or anything like that. But it was a transaction of me wanting to make sure that this kid felt just as involved in the growing relationship that we had as anything, right? But going back, both of the people who really got into it were single people.
Yeah.
So they're on the dating scene. They both hit it hard. He was saying that the audacity, how dare this woman who already is coming with a load, right? She already coming with a whole baby.
Yeah.
How dare you not set up a babysitter in advance of this date? She said, how dare you date a single mama? I'm a single woman and I got a kid. What did you think was happening?
Yeah.
Right? And in both of them, I saw very clearly their points. I understood exactly where they both were coming from. And I also agreed to some extent with both parties, right? Because I do feel like if you are dating a single woman, you need to be conscious of her having to find a babysitter, of her having to, you know, dictate what days you might be able to go on dates with. Maybe the father has them on some days, or maybe not at all.
Yep.
The father's not there.
Yep.
The father is deceased.
Yes.
You know, whatever the case may be, but you got to have that in the back of your head. And I think that that's something that needs to be explored in the conversation of setting this date up.
No, absolutely. Now, I think we're also combining two things too a little bit here with the transaction and dating a single parent, right?
That's
and
true.
I think all the time on social media, people watch something and they automatically insert themselves,
Yes,
right?
that's true.
And they insert their story.
Yep.
So now you have some people just automatically protecting themselves in a story where if you really look at it objectively, it's different.
That's good.
Right? And so one thing that I want to do right here is break apart two things here, babe. If you can take a walk with me.
I'm here.
Okay?
I'm already here. This is good.
Okay.
Go.
So one thing, we're going to go back to bare bones transaction.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we have friends, and I'll speak to I'll speak to one of my friends and me, okay? Because I'm just going to keep it G here with y'all, and I'm going to give my opinion, regardless if you guys like it or not. I have a friend that 100% believes in transactional relationships, okay? So let's go on date one. The date one, he is down to take care of the babysitter. He potentially will take you to the mall, and he will take you to a high-end, fine dining restaurant, right?
Yeah.
That is just the first date transactional, that, right?
Yeah.
Now, me on the other side, on the other hand, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Right? I do believe in treating a woman to have her be soft, open the door for her, and take her. And if I take her out and I invite her out, I am going to treat her.
Yes.
Okay? She is not going to reach in her pocket. But I do not believe in the hand-to-hand transaction of money while dating. Okay? Let me just say that again. While dating. So I'm going to start there, right there, babe, and you can tell me your opinion on it, but that is exactly how I feel if we just cover the first part.
Yeah, I honestly think that it is extremely hard to get to the core value of a person if it's transactional. Because once you give me some money, give me $200 for my nails that cost $50. You best believe this hair is $600. You best believe I need a new outfit for that next date. Like it's just immediate. Or once I know that I gave you some of this, and it made you act right, be right, do right, buy me more. It's like a wheel gets turning. Like, oh, okay, this for that. And it's what I'm seeing in this dating scene. It's not the transaction of viewpoints or character traits or growing and getting to know each other. It's like what you could do for me.
Yeah.
And it comes to that high value conversation because everybody has to assert their value, and everything is always based on what I can do, what I can give, what I can provide. Not who you are, not, how I'm going to make you better, how I support you, how I am going to grow with you. None of that. They not even thinking about that. And that is the problem.
Yeah.
So a woman who is wanting to date this high value man and a man who thinks he's a high value man, they are immediately thinking in terms of transactions.
Yes. And the one thing that I did leave out, which I wanted to bring it back after I heard your piece, was that it's absolutely a transaction, especially in the space in which one of my friends would operate in, right? Because if he's paying for your babysitter, putting money in your hand, taking you to the mall, and he's taking you to a fine dining restaurant, it's absolutely a transaction. And that transaction is you got to return that with giving up the goods.
Oh, yeah.
Now, guess what? That is define the relationship. And now we have to look at where is the potential for depth. Okay?
I know.
All right. So that's that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So the other side is looking at this specific scenario of transactions and dating a single parent.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I think that the very clear separation between this video and the single parent talk is that she was entitled to the money. She acted entitled to the money. Where my $200?
Yeah.
$200? Y'all going away for the weekend?
Yep.
Like, what's happening here? And I think that going back to the audacity, but also the entitlement of it is what makes it like, I felt like he could have rebutted and said, sloppy toppy on the way to the restaurant.
Yeah, right.
Like, because you acting like that, I feel like I'm raising sons too. So listen, you'll come with my son all type of crazy. He gonna come back crazy, respectfully. But I'm just saying, and then she would have been mad.
Yeah.
Oh, you only taking me out because you want some? Well, ma'am.
Yep.
No, I was taking you out because I thought you were hot and I thought we were going to have some conversation and we both talked about this new restaurant.
Yep.
But now that you have shifted my focus and you've shifted my plans, okay.
Yeah.
Let's open up the floodgates of transactions.
Yeah.
And I also think that a woman who has to go above and beyond before the date just to set her child up to go on this date is very similar to a businessman who maybe, works long hours and doesn't really have a lot of free time, but he's going to carve it out for you.
Yeah.
And not to say that his business is on the same level as your child, but I'm just trying to put it in perspective for both parties. Like, the amount of time that goes into planning out any length of time to spend getting to know you is a great deal of preparation. It's not just about getting my hair done, getting my nails done, and making sure I look cute anymore.
Yeah.
It's about strategically outlining the logistics of my life.
Yes.
And I'm doing that for you, kind sir.
Yes. Now, you came with a great example, which also segues kind of back to the scenario we're talking about, but also two examples I gave.
Okay.
So, if I may.
Yeah.
So, looking at the single mother, and we can say single parent, but let's go single mother, because at a certain point, I was a single dad, co-parenting. Um,
And he wasn't asking me for no
exactly.
babysitter money.
Okay, we're going to get there too, okay?
Yeah.
There is a scenario in which we want to test drive before we even see if we want to buy the car, right? You know, and that goes on both sides, okay? That is not just the guy, and that is not just the woman, okay? Sometimes you want to even see if there is even potential to see if we can move forward, because it can become a very dangerous game in a transactional game, because everything becomes transactional, and that is what it is. It's quid pro quo, right? As they say, okay? And so if you look at that, you have to make the decision on what you're looking for.
Right.
If you want a transactional relationship, fine. But if you want something that requires some more depth, then let me just tell you, that is the wrong way to go. And I'll just look at our relationship and how we began.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a son when we started dating, right? But guess what? I was very careful with Cameron, okay? And I was very careful with you, because I wanted to make sure that things right here was something that I wanted, right? Before I even introduced Cam to you. Because there is a point in a relationship where you have to make a decision on if this potentially can be serious. Now, at that point, guess what? There's decisions that need to be made by me and the other person. All right? All right. Now, at this point, I believe now we can start talking about what we're willing to do for each other. Right? If I'm taking care of your nails. Right? If I'm taking care of your hair.
Right.
Because we have created some level of depth and some level of planning that we say, okay, me and you are moving this way together. Right? So let me take a step back, and there was a heated discussion amongst our friends like we talked about. And I talked about two scenarios. And please, if you will, have your opinion on them. Okay? There is, and you said it too, you said if you're making time and you're carving out your day because you have to get your hair done and you have to set up your daughter or your son to even go on a date, okay? We're going to give two scenarios, right? Because there are two far-fetched scenarios, okay? One is the mother or dad who has a child who's out every single night. They go to the bar, you see them on Tuesdays, you see them on Wednesdays, they go to the club, and they go out every single night. And then when you say, hey, babe, I'd like to take you out, she said, well, you better take care of my babysitter. You're going out every night anyway. Can we even see if we like anything? All right. So this is one scenario, right? Okay. Now I got another one for you. Okay. And this is a little more wholesome. Let's go to the other side. You see a young lady at church. You ask about her. You hear she's a single parent. Okay. She's at church every Sunday. You hear she has a good job. She's really busy. She does not go out. Okay. You never see her out. So now you have a decision to make. Right? Now you can go up to this young lady because you already heard that she is all about her daughter or son, all about her job, and all about her time with her family and the church. And you can say, hey, I know you don't have any time, but if I could take you out for coffee, or if I could take you out for dinner, I would love to do whatever I need to do to just share some time with you. So, hey, if I got to have your mom watch your daughter, you know, if it would help, you know, I'd love to pay for a sitter for you. That's another approach. Now, these are two different, you know, right?
People.
Two different people. Right? But I think I would know which one is the one that's requiring you to step in and make you pay for her babysitter.
I agree. I totally agree. But I also think that also speaks to the intentionality of the person that you're trying to date. You have to be looking at, have you already peeped the scene on them? You know, is this I just saw you from across the way and you fine type of interaction? Or is this we are in the same circles, or we've run into each other a couple times, or maybe we've had a few phone conversations at this point, or on Instagram or whatever, right? It depends on what you are trying to do.
It's levels.
It's so many levels.
Yeah.
Because then you also have the guy that's two different guys.
Yes, it is.
That guy who says, what do I have to do to just get some time with you? I pay for a babysitter, whatever, right?
Yep.
Whatever time of day is necessary. That guy don't even know the other girl. He don't even, that's not the type of girl that he wants. He's not looking at the chick that's out every single night. That's not his world. He is intentionally looking for a woman of his caliber.
Sound like he looking for a wife.
Sound like he's looking for a wife. You know, but also on the flip side,
Yeah.
the guys who looking for the girls that's out all the time also don't really care if you go to church or care if you got a job, because they are willing to take care of you. They are willing to transaction this thing on out. But that goes to, what do you want out of dating?
Yeah. There you
Because if in the beginning you both say, look, I'm trying to pass some time.
go.
I'm trying to get my rocks off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just have some companionship.
Yeah.
I really don't have no time at this juncture in my life to do anything further.
Yep.
Then transaction it out.
Yep.
Put it on my tab, okay? But if you are saying, I want to be a wife, I want to be a husband, and you are still basing your interaction and your compatibility off of what each other can do for each other, stop,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then while we're on the subject of just going to church and things like that, it made me think about, what do you want out of your life, right? And at this age, at this big age, right?
That's their coin phrase.
At this big age, right? In dating, you should know by now, it's no more daddy issues made me sleep with him. It's no more, I got to show her how much money so I can get the goods fast. We know what we want. We know what we're doing, right? So I'm not having sex until marriage.
Yeah.
You gonna commit to this.
Yeah.
Or I am not going to be coming over your house and spending the night and cooking and Netflixing and chilling.
Yep.
You already know what you are not going to do,
Yeah.
what you are willing to do, and I think you should be forthright with it.
And I wish that were the case for most, because the reality is what I've seen, even with social media and everything, is people aren't very self-aware, babe.
No.
They're not self-aware. And so if you're not self-aware, then you can't truly even understand what you want
That's true.
and what you need, right? And so when you look at that, when the woman, forgive me because I sit with guys too, right? But I would love to interchange it, right? But it's a lot of the time it is the woman is demanding or requesting the transaction. That's just the nature of the game we are in right now, okay?
No.
Hold on. Let me be very clear. You're right. The transaction is two things, right?
Two things.
That's right.
And you know y'all want
The
that one
woman
thing.
is typically requesting goods and services, okay? Goods and services, okay? And the guys are requesting goods, okay? Just straight good.
Yeah.
That's it, okay?
Okay, all right.
And so let's look at that. If the woman doesn't even know what she wants and needs,
Yeah.
and she's requesting or demanding that you provide goods and services, DTE bill, phone bill, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Babysitter bill. Okay, if she's demanding this,
Yeah.
but guess what? She has to potentially give up. You can't get a partnership. You can't get my vulnerability. You can't get me to have a safe space of comfort and trust and demand my friendship.
So good.
You can't have that,
That's
okay?
good.
Because we've seen cultures that are set up that way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's not what I wanted. So I just say, babe, and I digress to the self-awareness.
That's good.
Baby, if they are self-aware, like you say,
Yep.
and they understand that all they want is the transaction, is cool. But don't understand one thing. Do not say you have to take care of me, and I want your vulnerability,
Yes.
and I want you to be this, that, and the other, and my best friend. You can't have it both ways, and that's why I ventured for something else.
And I got 2 PSAs that came out of that.
Okay, come on.
The first PSA, women, don't go to the first few dates talking about what you not gonna do, what you require, what you expect. Don't rattle this off. That you will see a man with integrity. You will know a man who is willing to take care of you. You will know all of that by how he talk, what he talk about, how he addresses you, how he takes care of you, how he looks out for you, how he supports you, how he wants to know more about you. It's way too many ways for you to see if this man is really interested in the same type of lifestyle that you want to lead.
Yeah.
Besides going, you gonna have to pay this babysitter bill. You gonna have to do this. You don't know what I've been through. No, I don't, sweetheart. We just met.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. You know.
Trying to see.
So just pipe down, chill out, but don't chill too long. That's my second PSA. We get into this cool. We so cool. Oh, women. We can't be as cool as them. Okay, like. Don't get to a place where you're not expressing who you are explicitly. I knew I was a wife, right? And even when I was saying that, it wasn't that I was saying, you better make me a wife, because in the beginning, we were just friends, we were dating, it was very organic how we grew into our space. But was it clear what I wanted out of life?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You know, and that wasn't because he was like, so, what's your 5-year plan?
Yeah.
Like, do you expect to be a wife in 5 years? It wasn't like that. It was out of genuine conversation, genuine getting to know each other. And that is the key element that we are losing in this space.
Yeah.
And that is why this polarizing topic is so polarizing. Because guess what? If you don't want to pay for a babysitter, baby, don't date nobody with kids.
That's right.
Or don't date the woman who needs you to pay for a babysitter.
That's right.
And women, if you want him to pay for a babysitter, going back to this video, it should have been expressed a week ago, as he said, dang, we've been talking about this date for a week. I find it very, very fine to say, hey, if you want to go on a date on that day, at that time, I'm going to need some assistance. And, you know, I don't have my parents around who could just come over for a minute, or my parents require $29, or whatever the case is. You say that on the front end, and then you allow him to say, oh, dang, you in the pickle.
Yeah.
You in the pickle.
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe we choose another day.
Yeah.
Or how much, right? Instead of this entitlement. Oh my goodness, there's so many viral videos.
Entitlement, man.
So many viral. Did you see the girl? And we might have to pull this video up too.
Yeah.
She says, I want to see if I'm wrong, y'all. I knew she was wrong right there. Okay. Half the time you are. If you say, I just need to see if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I call my girl. I done cuss her out. Let me just make like, girl, go back up. I'm sorry, my bad. But she says that a guy says, hey, what's your Cash App? I want to send you lunch money. And I want to say the man sent her like $100. We gonna have to pull this up.
Okay, so y'all, story time. So y'all, please tell me if I'm wrong. So today this dude wrote me on Instagram and he was like, can I send you money? Let me send you money for lunch. So I was like, okay. I wrote him back and I was like, send it. So he wrote me and was like, okay, what's your Cash App? So I sent him the Cash App. Yeah, I just knew I was going to open my Cash App and I was going to have at least probably about $100. You get what I'm saying? Because like, that's I eat and that's how much I spend on my food. Yeah, I opened my Cash App and this man sent me $30. Yeah, yes, $30. And I'm just like, at first I'm like, damn, like, am I ungrateful? Like, am I fucked up? Like, the feeling like, why the you send me $30? But then I had to ask people and they was like, nah, because I'm like, $30 is not even half a tank in my car. Like, what the fuck you thought I was going to go to Chick-fil-A? Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what did you think I was going to eat? It's like, when I go and eat, I eat full course meals. Like, I order a appetizer, a entree.
Not a guy she's dating.
Oh.
just a guy that's just trying to say, hey, boom, look what I do for you. Just know that you're on my mind. Here go a little cash app, which I like that guy.
Yeah.
Send me a little lunch.
I don't like that guy.
I like that guy. But she goes on to say that won't even fill up my tank.
Yeah.
And what I'm supposed to eat with that? Subway, ma'am. I thought you were at work. Go get what are you getting for lunch?
Yep.
Like, it went to my accounting side. I'm like, what is your budget? But the entitlement of this man who, out of the kindness of his heart, just said he wanted to do something for you, and you not thinking it's enough to take you and all your coworkers or something, is ridiculous to me.
And that is my lovely wife.
Who's raising
But let
you?
me tell you this. That's why I say no hand-to-hand transactions.
Yeah.
There are certain rules of engagement, like I always say, that I just think can just mucky up the water and just provide for a bad feeding ground.
Yeah.
To me, guess what? Take her to lunch.
Yeah.
Or bring her lunch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These things is where we're building on the relationship.
Yeah.
Now, it's nothing for me to send my wife a cash app and do something, but we married, we together, okay? But when you're dating, I think it's very, very dangerous when things become transactional, because guess what? A good man, he wants a good woman, and a good husband wants a good wife, okay? And so when I'm sitting back here and I'm looking at the potential of, let me date this woman, right? And she imposes her life on me, right? And I say impose because, keep in mind, I had Cam over here. We talked about him. You knew how much he meant to me.
Yeah.
When I had my time with Cam, it was not time for us in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But you also understood that while dating me, that you would have to accept everything about me, okay? So yes, you do have to do that. But as far as a transactional piece, you're not going to build a friendship, right?
Right.
And you have to decide if what you want in your marriage, right?
That's so true.
Right. If you want to be married, or if you want a relationship, let's just go to bare bones relationship.
Yes.
Do you want a friend that you can laugh with? Do you want somebody that can focus on you when you're having a bad day to pick you up?
Yes.
That somebody cares about your feelings?
Yes.
Do you want that, right? I wanted that. So there was depth created here.
Absolutely.
Right? There was depth.
Yeah.
Nothing shallow. Now, if you want shallow, understand, like you said, babe, understand your self-awareness, understand what you want, then that's fine.
Yes.
But you cannot have a transactional-based relationship and want substance and depth.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. And I also just think that it's important to know what you want out of life.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that in marriage or in long-term dating or whatever, there are going to be different seasons in your life. You might have had a hot girl summer this summer, but you had a baby and you ain't bounced back yet. It ain't so hot, But whatever. It's like, again, like you said, being self-aware, but also knowing what you want out of life. Those are the things that you need to go into the dating scene with.
Yeah.
And you want to put off what you want to get, right?
Yeah.
So if the man meets you at the club and you done grind up and down on him, he might be thinking, boom, got me one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, well, I was just trying to show you I was interested because I'm looking for a husband. Y'all are already starting off on different wavelengths. So it's like, it's important to make sure that you check your entitlement, check the audacity, make sure that you are self-aware of what exactly you want out of a relationship, what you want to be able to provide to a relationship, and how long of a relationship we're talking. But it's also important for people to have empathy for the other person. Like, if you have never dated a single mother and you've met somebody who just rocked your world. You know, she was intelligent, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
You really liked your conversation. Maybe you guys met at a work conference
Yeah.
or church, you know, and then you found out later that she had a child.
Yeah.
It is important to know that life is different with children. And life is different with dating with children. So even on days that you had Cam, we did a lot of dates while he was at school.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't like we were 1 week off, 1 week on. No, we saw each other every single day.
Yeah.
You know,
or if grandma and big dad was missing Cam,
Yep.
all right, you go hang out with them, right?
Or he sleep.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm single, ready to mingle.
Come on.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
But you make it work for who you want to make it work for.
Yeah.
And I would really, really want everybody to think about what they want to say. Oh, I would never, or because I definitely said I wouldn't date nobody with no kids.
Yep.
I definitely thought that as soon as you said you had kids, I would see boogers coming out of your eyeballs or something.
Yes.
I just automatically thought that was the scenario.
Yes.
And when I found my person,
Yeah.
and I knew he had another person, I had two people, period, you know? And so I don't want you to close the door on something that you don't truly, really even know.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know what's in store, but we do know that it is a way that the other person, the single parent, has to move
Yeah.
in order to even introduce you into their lives. And because of that, you want to be respectful of that time. You want to be intentional with that time. And you want to let them know you appreciate that time.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do that
Yes.
without a hand-to-hand transaction.
And like you said, that I wanted to make sure you were there, babe, because we have to make sure that we connect.
Yeah.
And we cannot connect hand to hand or pocket to pocket.
No.
It's got to be here and it's got to be here, right?
That's a
We got to
shift.
connect there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then after we understand that you are my person
Yeah.
and I am your person, then things aren't based on
Let's go.
transactional, and we can do transactions.
We can do
whatever
whatever
we
we
want
want. Yeah, yeah.
because we have the foundation
Yeah.
that we can just go, move forward together, build together, be prosperous, because I have my friend that is based on just straight substance and depth.
Yes, I love that. And it's also, it just made me think about like the housewives, right? I'm not sure if they all knew that that's the role that they would take. I know some people who are legit housewives because they were making this amount of money and daycare was this amount of money.
Yeah.
Let me stay home with my baby and take care of this family, you know?
Yep.
And that's something that I think should be communicated.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that should be upfront and a part of the level setting the expectations of what you're going to get from me.
That's right.
Because I'm here to cook and clean, take care of your babies.
That's
What's
right.
up?
And
You
that's
know?
a good point too. And I'm glad you said that, babe. And we right here because guess what? Also, you cannot have if you want to build this transactional relationship. You can't have me be here for you in a postpartum situation that is just totally just catering to you because we are in it together, right? Because it's transactional, right?
Yeah.
So you can't have me in the space of, you know, all right, let me get the baby. Let me, you know, if your boobs are hurting, let me put some ice on them for you. Let me go clean up for you. Let me cook dinner. Let me do these things. You can't have that space for that. Right?
true.
Because I am security and I am providing and you on your own for that baby.
That's a mic drop because if it is transactional, that means you're giving me something for something. And if I'm down, I can't take a shower, I'm tired, I can't give you what I was giving you in order to receive your transaction. So that's good. That is closing remarks.
It's not a partnership. No.
Transactional dating does not lead to a successful relationship.
Yeah.
It could potentially lead to a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that means that at any moment, if his funds are not right, if she gets sick, if whatever the transactional pieces are, if at any moment they are not in abundance as they were when you were dating, that relationship is over.
But you said it too. It may work for a transactional relationship or even a transactional marriage,
Yeah.
but not a successful
Not a
relationship or a successful marriage.
Yeah.
We might have to go live with this one.
Yeah,
We might have to go live because there's so much that can go, and there's so much
And I want to
feedback that we
hear.
need.
I want to.
Yeah.
Yes, I need
Yeah.
to hear
Yeah.
everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
What did you think about that video?
Yes.
What did you think about what we were saying? And of course, we all over the place. We're trying to make it cohesive because it's so much.
Yeah, it is.
To unpack.
Yeah.
I mean, this new era of social media and what they're showing about dating and what they're showing about the roles of men and women it's painful to watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you have value, I don't want it, And I'm looking at these women like, don't represent the culture like
The
this.
culture.
Like, who's raising you
I
women,
know. Yeah.
And it's just crazy. But we would love to hear from you guys. We going live.
Yeah, we going live.
We're just gonna make
go
it.
live.
We're
We
gonna
let
make
you
that
know
a thing. We'll keep you guys
soon,
posted.
very soon.
Yes.
Can we toast, babe?
Let's toast.
Let's toast. But I got some wine for. We about to catch a movie, so we got the jet. So let's toast with the water today.
Okay.
Okay. We'll toast with the water. We're gonna catch on the flip side with the wine. All right. But basically, can I get this one, babe?
Please.
All right. Today we are gonna toast to the depth and substance of relationships, okay?
Yes.
And the importance of building a foundation with our heads and with our hearts.
Yep.
Because the dangerous place of starting your relationship, starting the dating game in your pockets and hand-to-hand transactions can lead to something that nobody wants, right?
Yes.
And if you want friendship and you want partnership, and you want vulnerability and somebody to pick you up when you're sad and feel you when you're having emotions that sometimes are hard to explain, but they can explain them for you. When you want that person, you have to build the relationship. And it can never start just on simple transactions.
All right. You
Cheers.
better praise them, preach it. Cheers. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a journey of love, of understanding, of vulnerability, and we are just so appreciative that you have joined us for another episode of Finding Love.
And we want to invite you into our Finding Love community. And one of the best ways to do that is clicking that subscribe button right down there.
If you want to tune in with us more, kick it with us more, learn more about Finding Love, we definitely want you to follow us on all social media at I Am Finding Love. And I am Jenni L. Hendricks on all social media platforms. Jenni with an I, L. Hendricks with an IX.
Hey, there you go, baby. And mine is Stephen Hendricks, #1. And also, for anybody's listening to us on one of these amazing podcast platforms, please rate, review, comment. We really appreciate you.
Let's get it.